What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we are back for season 7 of Cosmic Crucible, and we're gonna talk about the best defenses for everyone. We're gonna take a look at the different defenses that a few content creators suggested, some of them grandmasters, others just participating on the season 7 for like 3 weeks on the test server, and we're gonna take a look at their suggestions, why I don't like some of the suggestions, and then at the end of the video we're gonna take a look at what I'm gonna use for myself. So this is gonna be an approach that should fit most people, but of course it's gonna be more in between the more advanced players, right? As always, the defenses that you have to use, it depends on your roster. So depending if you are a new player or a veteran player, you might have different options available. But right now is one of the best times to play Cosmic Crucible because of the new characters we were released recently with the Cabal. And the Cabal opening a lot of opportunities. As I mentioned on previous videos, you can use them together, you can use them separated on defense or on offense. It's up to you to decide, and depending on how you do that, you're gonna have way more chances or opportunities to build up different teams. One thing that we have to remember, compared to season 6, season 7 will have a lot of limitations with your teams on offense, because we no longer have Hive Mind counting as Superior 6 and Sinister 6, and because of that, some of those big combos that we had, the fact that we could build up to 3 teams to use in Cosmic Crucible, well, it's no longer the case. So we have to keep this in mind, because this is going to greatly diminish the amount of characters you can use on offense. So let's keep that in mind. So as always, if you like the information on this video, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure you smash that like button like a boss. Okay, so before we start, I just want to quickly apologize because my wife is going through some health issues and she's pregnant, so we'll see, and this is why I've been with a limited time to stream and also to make videos, so I apologize for that. Okay, so let's get started. As you guys can see, we have a Pathfinder in the bracket this week, so you might be able to face him. We'll see about that. Okay, so these were the defenses that other people suggested. Once again, these quote-unquote grandmasters, and also people from the test server. On top, we have suggestions from duarktikhq and Jutsi. Under that, we have suggestions by Updog or Dulum or something, and are their opinions reliable enough? I'd say no, but yeah, because they're not at top of the meta, so I don't know, we'll see. But either way, we'll take a look at the rules and why I don't like some of these teams on the rules, right? And we're gonna start by room 1. And we have down here the rules. So skirmisher characters will apply ability block on successful attacks to the enemies, and if you have a raider, you're going to be able to clear ability block and heal yourself for 10%, and then strikers, they gain 50% more damage if they have ability block. So that means you are limited to your basics, so you're going to keep that in mind. Okay, so one thing that we have to clarify right away is that successful attack, that means basic ability, it means the special ability or the ultimate ability. It does not mean retaliations, counterattacks, or assists. So for example, Nebula on assist, she does not apply ability block even if she is a skirmisher. So for example, here this opinion that you should use Infinity Watch unless you are trying to cancel your enemy's ability to apply ability blocks, then Infinity Watch is not a good option because they cannot apply ability blocks to the enemies. And from these characters, maybe 1 or 2 are recommended skirmishers, the other ones definitely strikers, and raiders absolutely not. In terms of the Gamma is a team that could actually work here. Not only because you have She-Hulk to clear all those ability blocks away, but also because we can use certain characters as raiders. Of course, most people will prefer Red Hulk and Abomination, definitely not Brawn. But the skirmisher you could also use on those characters. You could also use skirmisher on Hulk because he takes many turns, not because of his counters. So keep that in mind. We have some possibility of value here with Gamma, and especially if you're using Gamma Dormammu, otherwise not really. Okay, now taking a look at the two main options. The first off is from duarktik and Jutsi. The second one is once again from Updog and Dulum. And we have Extreme with Dormammu. The problem I have with Extreme with Dormammu is that they are very slow. And while it's true that some of these characters can be used as raiders to prevent the ability blocks, you actually don't have any character that applies ability blocks. So you would use half of the potential of the room, but why not using a team that can actually take full potential of the room? Other problem that in my opinion you have is that the team is super slow. Like all these characters are super slow except Nightcrawler. And as I said before, yes, it's true we cannot use Hive Mind together with Sinister Six, but you can still split the Sinister Six in two teams, especially if you pair them together with the Cabal, and they are going to obliterate this team because it's too slow, motherfucker. Like, do people understand that this team is super slow? So or you really have a team that can stand on its own, or if you have a slow team like this, you are just gonna get clapped by the likes of the Iron Patriot or Namor or whichever character, together with or Masters of Evil or with Sinister Six, Superior Six. Then we have this suggestion which is unlimited with Phoenix. And I like the Dazzler Raider because that means that Dazzler can never get ability block unless she gets trauma or something like that. Then Gambit Raider, that's normal. Rogue Raider, I don't see the necessity of this. First off, because Rogue, she has a very powerful basic, so you actually would like her to use her basic. And then we have Dazzler and Phoenix that clear all the negative effects away. So what's the point of using Rogue as a Raider when you have two characters that clear the negative effects away? So in terms of ISOH suggestion, this is kind of weird. Phoenix as a Raider to clear the ability block, I guess that's good because you don't want her to be ability blocked when she's doing a special. So the Phoenix Raider, I think it makes sense. You want to make Raider just level 1. You never want to do Raider level 3 or 4 or 5 or anything like that because you want her to die as fast as possible, right? So while this team has some value, I have some problems with ISOH suggestions because once again, Phoenix Raider for the ability block makes sense, but the green one, not the blue one, and like it doesn't make any sense. And the Rogue as a Raider, there is no reason for that. You should use her as a striker because once again, Dazzler is going to clear all those negative effects away anyway, so it doesn't make sense. Okay, once again, like I said, we're going to take a look at my suggestions at the end of the room, but I hope I cleared enough the reasons why some of these teams can be good, other ones not so much, and if they are using the full potential of the room or not. Now we're gonna take a look at the room number 2. This is the raid room where you can use raid teams and they have their abilities active. So on the suggestions that we have right here at the bottom, we have the Extreme X-Men, which is a fine choice, but you should always have a character that taunts because the team is slow. If the team is slow and you don't have a character that protects them, or with auto taunt or some other mechanic like that, then the team is not as good. So Extreme X-Men, it's fine, but I would add up Rogue here because why not? She has the auto taunt and that alone is going to be great. And then you have Rogue giving more drain or getting more drain herself, but also giving more damage and more health to Gambit. And Gambit is going to have extra damage from Sunspot in the raid room. So Gambit is gonna slap so hard, it's gonna make you win the match. But once again, you need the Rogue instead of the Cyclops. The Cyclops here is literally doing nothing. In terms of Pegasus, Pegasus is annoying, but Pegasus gets easily destroyed by other teams that are faster than them, or that have earlier stuns or easy manipulation, but it can be a trap. If people are not used, if people don't remember what we used in the past to counter Pegasus, it can be a problem. Because in raids they're getting a bunch of speed bar, and usually people use Eternals to counter them, so this could be a trap. So both of these suggestions are decent with minor alterations just to increase their value. In terms of the suggestions from the main suggestion, Infinity Watch, like this is dumb and dumber. I'm really not sure what to say about this. No offense to these guys, but let's be honest, it's dumb. If you are telling people that they should gear up their Loki, their Team Loki, and your Sylvie, like, you already lost the game. Like, it doesn't make any sense to gear up these teams, because not only they are not necessary on their main game mode where they are required, which is raids. Even that they are not necessary to use in raids, my Bifrost team is still at 1.5 million power, and these guys are at orange gear. Like, why would you use this team? So not only they are bad at their job and they don't need the gear, on top of that, this season they also have lower resistance and lower healing. So in the past we could counter this team with that seed, and now more often than not we're gonna be able to still counter them with that seed. So I honestly do not understand this suggestion, because it doesn't make sense. Like, who is this for? Honestly, who is this for? We were doing massive punch ups in the past with that seed. So honestly, once again, who is this for? I don't understand. So don't use don't use this Bifrost nonsense. Once again, you don't have to get up these characters. You don't have, and you can easily counter with a mandatory team for Apocalypse. So once again, I don't understand. Let's move on to the room number 3, and on room number 3, on turn, if a character has taunt, gains offense up. On turn, apply assist now to all allies with offense up. Now, we have to clarify here on room 3, the rules are a little bit bugged out, because if the character gains taunt, it does not gain offense up. It's only if the character has taunt at the beginning of the turn. So there is a problem with that. So you need characters that gain taunt for like 2 turns. And this is going to be characters like Rogue. Yes, Rogue, she taunts for 2 turns. On the second turn, she will auto get offense up, even that she already has offense up. So keep this in mind. If the character only taunts for 1 turn, and if your character does not have his turn already with taunt, so characters like Bishop, then they are not going to get offense up. This happens a lot with Gwen Pool. We actually saw on the envoy footage that this room is not working if the character gets taunt after the turn. Okay, so on turn, apply assist now to all characters with offense up. So this is what you want to do in your room, is making sure that your characters have offense up, so you can get these assists, right? So you want to focus on teams that gain offense up. So you have right here Gamma. I think Gamma gains offense up. I don't remember exactly how, but it's important. They also have the taunt with Hulk, so that means Hulk can be work here as a skirmisher to apply extra vulnerabilities to your characters. So you can use your Red Hulk as a raider or as a striker, depends on what you prefer. But this is going to be a decent combo. Once again, we already mentioned in the past, Gamma with Dormammu. Dormammu always spawns with offense up, so he's always going to assist. So once again, you could also have your Dormammu as a skirmisher to apply those vulnerabilities to the enemies, to your allies. And then you can attack with your striker. So we have the 2 options already there. We'll see my recommendation in a second. And here we have Unlimited with the Bishop. So once again, we have a character starting off with the taunt. Once again, if he gets taunt after, it does not work. And then we have the Rogue here. We also have the Phantom X. It doesn't start with the taunt, but you can force him to get the taunt on offense. On defense, not so much. But this is a decent recommendation from them. We have still the Dazzler to clear the negative effects away. You want to keep Dazzler in the middle. You don't want Dazzler anywhere near any character with a taunt, otherwise she will die too fast. And then we have the Grandmasters. The Grandmasters suggesting Unlimited or Extreme with Sunspot and with Jubilee. Now, on paper, this team is great, right? They have the extra health from Jubilee, they have the extra health from Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler spawns with speed up, Sunspot gives the offense up to everyone. So yes, they are going to get all that assist chance. The problem is that they are very slow. They are very slow. All these characters are extremely slow except Nightcrawler. But once again, you can use Vulture to stop Nightcrawler or any other character that is faster than Nightcrawler and stop speed up on spawn. We have a few characters right now. We have a few more characters in the very near future. And once again, you don't have the rogue. You don't have anyone to protect this team. So this is a shame. And the Sunspot is a lot more helpful on the raid room because he gives like 75% extra base damage to everyone. So that's even better than having offense up on spawn, right? So I don't like this team. It's way too slow, so not to appreciate it at all. I would definitely not recommend it, but it's up to you to decide. It has some potential. You have to get up the Jubilee to decent levels, otherwise she's going to be completely useless. And even if you put this position, you have to be careful because you might not be able to kill the Jubilee, right? Because if she's weak, she can speed up the Forge, but if it's not the case, then she can't. So you can change the position around to mess up your enemies a little bit more. But I would prefer here, once again, the Gamma, maybe the Unlimited. You need always the Rogue. If you don't have a Rogue together with them, they're pretty much pointless. But either way, we'll take a look at my suggestions in a second. Now we have room number 4, Unstable Energy. So in this room, all the villains will have their ultimates costing 2 less energy, but they also have 25% less health. So what you want to do here, you want to make sure that you're using characters with a lot of health to compensate these, and characters that will benefit out of using their ultimates very, very often. So you can use, for example, characters like Black Order Vulture. This is definitely a very powerful combo that obliterates you early on. We also have a Super Scroll here, which is interesting depending on the size of your Super Scroll. If your Super Scroll is not at 700 stars, you might be able to help your enemies because you're gonna start with the Doctor Doom early on. So you have to be careful with scrolls here, or they are very big, or then you should use them in other rooms. And then we have the main suggestions here with the Sinister Six plus Vulture, and we also have Out of Time. What's the reason for Out of Time here? I honestly don't know. Okay, I guess Out of Time in Cosmic Crucible on defense, on a room that benefits villains. Okay, I guess. Let me know in the comments below, why is this team here? Maybe they think it's to counter the scroll on offense or something. I honestly don't know. Especially now that you can use Hive Mind, you can use the other guy, the Void Knight, to counter them right away. And Void Knight is a hero. So I really don't understand this Grandmaster suggestion here with just Out of Time. Okay, I guess, sure. The Sinister Six I definitely understand, because you're gonna start off right away with the Green Goblin. He applies trauma to everyone. Vulture is going to turn in mind all your enemies. Lizard is gonna steal all the positive effects into your team. Craven starting off with the ultimate, not great, not the best, but okay. And then you have Dr. Octopus that is going to extend the trauma for another turn that the Green Goblin applied. So this is definitely a good team, a good suggestion here. The only problem here is that if you are facing any enemies with a Super Scroll, the Super Scroll is going to destroy you. So this is the problem. It's a good suggestion to maximize the value of this room, but once again, if they bring a Super Scroll here, you are pretty much destroyed. Okay, moving on to the next room, we have Infinity Watch on room 5. Okay, Infinity Watch on room 5. Okay, are the rules going to benefit Infinity Watch? Let's take a look. So Flashbang, characters with blind have their speed reduced by 5% and armor reduced by 25%. Ultimate abilities apply blind to the primary target. So you want to make sure that you have fast characters that go early on and apply blinds to your enemies so you can slow them down, because if you don't slow them down, what's the point? And it's going to be important that the character starts with the ultimates, and it's going to be important also that they have low cooldowns on the ultimates, right? So if you need to watch here, there is only one character that starts with the ultimate, which is Nebula. So once again, I don't understand what's the point of this, unless they are using this team here to counter the rules of the room, because otherwise you are not going to benefit out of anything. You cannot apply the blinds. I guess they can also not be applied to you, that's true. But if you bring any kind of Wakanda here, we are still going to destroy them, unless you are very lucky. The other counters that we also have for Infinity Watch. So I'm not sure about this room. I would definitely not use Infinity Watch here. But these are the suggestions of the Grandmasters and the test server goons. In terms of the other suggestions, we have Infestation and we have Darkhold. Darkhold is cool because they start with ultimates, so you can see Agatha, Morgan Le Fay, Scarlet Witch, and Wong, all of them start with ultimates. So those are 4 attacks that can apply blinds to different targets as well, which is great. In terms of the Infestation, Big Time starts with his ultimate, then you have Yellow Jacket that starts with the ultimate, Ant-Man also starts with the ultimate. This can be a fast team if you're using Black Widow and another character that speed ups Black Widow, not this. But it can have some potential depending on the size. Is this a team that you should invest or not? So this is going to be a team that is going to be for people in the Platinum or Diamond if they in the past put some investment on Infestation. If you're going to use them on Grandmasters or Masters or anything like that, you might not get a lot of value unless you're going to bait your Vulture and your other characters to be on other rooms. So this could be a nice bait, but overall is not a great option. And this option with Darkhold is definitely better because of all of them starting with the ultimates, and also because they get speed bar and they go much faster. But Infinity Watch here, I really don't see the point unless, once again, you are trying to prevent the blinds being applied to you. So it's pretty much the same dumb logic from room 1, I guess. So I would not recommend Infinity Watch here if you are really trying to maximize the value of the room. And then we have the final room number 6. On crit, apply bleed to the primary target if any character, if Ghost Rider is an ally, and if the character has bleed or something, they gain armor, and then you have a 20% crit chance for your allies. So this room is a little bit convoluted, in my opinion, is not great. Getting additional crit chance might be important on certain teams. We can talk about that. For example, here, the leader is a very good defensive character for this room, but not with this team. We could use here, for example, leader with Black Order. That could be something interesting, but this is okay, but not great. The Black Cat and the Ghost Rider, I guess, I don't know. They don't have any character to protect them with a taunt, so are you not gonna get destroyed by like Eternals with Emma Frost or something? I'm not sure. I'm a little bit concerned about this room because without our light, they have nothing to protect them. But you can always do like I told you to do and split the Cabal. Once again, yes, sure, the leader is great on this room, but not the full Cabal. Maybe just part of the Cabal will be enough. Then we have here the hybrid Gamma with Out of Time. This is okay, I guess. Not really sure why without using the Cosmic Ghost Rider. Yeah, this guy's applying some bleeds. Additional armor for him makes him more tanky, makes him to do more damage, so you are definitely increasing the potential of Black Knight. But in terms of the other characters, I'm not so sure. We have the typical suggestion here that I would expect to see, which is the Secret Defenders with the Noir. We have the Ghost Rider, we have the tank that is going to benefit out of the extra armor, and we also have this guy to apply more bleeds to the enemies. So this is a fine suggestion for most people. And then we have once again Secret Defenders with Dormammu and Morgan Le Fay. Morgan Le Fay here has a Raider. I guess it's for more vulnerabilities. Black Cat has a Raider. Okay, I guess. But these are characters that don't have a lot of crit chance and crit damage. Morgan Le Fay without Strange Supreme, it's not the case. So I'm not sure what's going on here, just to increase the damage potential of the bleeds, or I'm not really sure about this. It's a good suggestion, but it has some questionable setup that we could argue, but anyway, we're gonna move on. Let's take a look at my recommendations. And this is going to be based on the room rules. So once again, on room number 1, we have Skirmishers will apply ability block to the enemies, and if you have Raider, you're gonna clear that ability block away. I don't really need ability block on Nick Fury, but Nick Fury as a Raider can provide energy to the allies, and you also don't want Nick Fury to get ability blocked. And I have the Coulson, and I also have Mockingbird as skirmishers, because when Coulson goes first with Nick Fury, he applies ability block to everyone, and even if they clear the ability block away, Mockingbird with Ronin will have more speed, she will go early, and she's going to still apply ability block to the enemies, even if they clear after. And she also flips negative effects into positive effects on this team, so even if you don't have any character as a raider, you are still going to be able to clear those ability blocks away. Then on room 2 we have the raid room, and I'm going to use Extreme with Rogue. Once again, I told you the problem with Extreme is that they don't have any way to protect themselves, but with Sunspot they have the 75% more damage because of the raid rooms, and they obliterate. Like Gambit here does so much damage, especially with Rogue. They literally obliterate most of the teams that you can use here. And once again, with Rogue, they are much faster, and they have that protection that they need in order to be successful. You could use a different setup if you want to put Gambit more in the middle or not, but I like to keep Sunspot away from Forge, just to make sure that we have some space in between the characters so we don't lose the opportunities to do anything. Sunspot here is also nice because he forces Gambit to do his ultimate earlier, and once again, with that 75% extra damage, Gambit is gonna slap. So I would definitely use this team on the raid room, and that seed cannot beat it, so for me that's a good thing. Now in terms of room 3 we have this hybrid setup. Once again, the room rules is if the character has taunt, they're going to get offense up, and if they have offense up, they're going to do assist. So we have Better Reveal, which is a character that if you attack Val, is going to get taunt, and he's going to get offense up after, right? So we already have Better Reveal with offense up, we have Dormammu with offense up, we have Super Scroll with offense up, and we also have the leader. Why is the leader here? Because right now Super Scroll can be countered somewhat easily if the enemies have Cabal, but if you have your Super Scroll with Dormammu and also with your own leader, it's gonna have 50% more health, 50% more armor, and that's gonna make Scroll super tanky. On top of that, you have also Val that can revive Super Scroll in case he dies, and you also have Dormammu that is going to give revive to Super Scroll. So this is a way to make sure your Scroll gets so strong that small Cabals, even big Cabals, are going to have some problems really getting rid of that Super Scroll. He's still going to have his special, and after Scroll does his special, especially 2 villains, 2 heroes, you're going to get obliterated anyway. So this is a good way to maximize all the rules of the room and destroy your enemies. Of course, this is going to depend if you have the leader unlocked or not, but from what I have seen, most people should have a leader unlocked at this point in time. Then we have Unstable Energy. Villains will get more energy but less armor, so you want to make sure that you have characters that they have a lot of health. This is going to be Dr. Octopus and Green Goblin. Green Goblin gives 20% health, Dr. Octopus 40% health, so they are still beefy enough. And then what's the team or that counters Sinister Six on defense? Or it's your enemy Sinister Six, or it is Super Scroll. So what counters both Sinister Six and Super Scroll? Well, it's Black Knight. So I made sure to have a hybrid of Black Knight and Sinister Six on defense, just to make sure we have some big damage coming out, and we are also protected by threats that usually counter this team. And the Black Knight is not going to have any problems with the bonuses of this room, and is also going to benefit out of Dr. Octopus, giving him more deflects, more regens, and also more speed because of the position of the characters. Even if your enemies are using their own Superior Six, the way I set up these characters, even if you get your buffs flipped, then Dr. Octopus is gonna flip them again, and you're gonna be fine. Room number 5, we have if the characters have blind, they are slow, they have less armor, ultimate abilities apply blind. So I made sure that we have 2 characters starting off with their ultimates. We have Hardlight, and we have also this guy, the Spider-Man Noir, that start with their ultimate, so we have 2 chances of applying blinds. And then we have Photon. Why is Photon so important on this room? If a character has blind, and if they have resistance to blind, it doesn't matter, because Photon is going to increase the blind by an additional 100%. So characters like Cyclops or Apocalypse or any other characters like that, if they are unlucky enough to get a blind on their face, they are still going to miss it. And this is very important for teams like the new warriors, because new warriors, they have resistance to blind, but if you have to photon and if you have managed to apply the blind to the primary target, then they will not be able to use their abilities. They will actually get blind because photon once again increases the blind for additional 100%. So even with resistance, you are not going to be able to resist it. And finally, the room that, in my opinion, makes the most sense to use Infinity Watch, but once again, like other people suggested, the Secret Defenders on room 6 is still a good option. Some people would even recommend out of time team in room 6. That would still be a good option, but I'm gonna keep my Infinity Watch on room 6 because yes, they don't do anything, but like I mentioned before, the room rules don't really benefit a lot the other characters that we want to use, and I don't want to fall on the baits set by CRUCIBLE. So many people are falling for these baits. It's up to you to decide if you want to fall for these baits or not, but when you have CRUCIBLE telling you that you should switch your ISO weight around and you need to spend your ISO weight tool level 4, level 5 and so on to adapt yourself to these specific rooms, then you are compromising your own account. You are chasing the carrot on the stick, which is just a bait. It's just a bait for you to waste your resources and to have to buy more, right? Or to struggle for upcoming characters that you might need to unlock a Professor X or whatever. So be very careful with these rooms that bait you to get more crit chance and crit damage, because let's be honest, like getting this additional crit chance, it's not going to make a difference, especially if the characters already have crit chance. If it was like more crit damage, yes, crit chance, like no, not really. So don't get baited by this, but these are my suggestions for Cosmic Crucible Season 7, what I like and what I don't like about other people's suggestions, and also my own suggestions based on my own roster. So I hope this video was helpful for everyone, and I hope you guys enjoyed information on it. As always, if you found information on these videos helpful, make sure to share this video with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Mouse Life Force content, and I'll catch you guys later.